Thanks for watching this despite the heat outside, everybody. This is the summer edition in July of the HbbTV webinar series. We've got a great topic for you, actually coming from a holiday destination. So it's good that you aren't on holiday yet, so you can watch this live. But if you are, don't worry, there's of course a YouTube recording for you as usual. This is about HbbTV developments in Italy, and we've got great presenters for you today. But before that, I'd like to say why we have chosen that topic. That is because Italy is, of course, one of the biggest and most mature HbbTV markets in Europe. And so, of course, it's interesting to see for market players in other countries what's going on in Italy and the prospects and, of course, the further developments of HbbTV, because this might be hints at what's going to happen or what might happen in other markets. The presenters, we've got a great use case from RTL 102.5 in Italy with Eugenio, the head of innovation, telling you all about it. There you can see how HbbTV can be used as a tool to drive your business, to develop your business, because they have expanded from the radio side of the market into or onto TV platforms, making radio available on all devices. So this is a great use case, and we'll hear all about it in a minute. Then we've got Annamaria from Kineton, head of media TV, who's going to go into more general direction of HbbTV, the history, and of course the current market situation and future developments of HbbTV in Italy. Then we've got Marco, co-founder of Broadbandy from Italy. This is where we'll go into the direction of monetization, of course, very important. Somebody has to pay the bills as usual, and we're going to talk about, especially about targeted advertising. This is also something where HbbTV is quite a useful tool for you. We've got great interest in this webinar. As I was saying, not everyone's on holiday yet. We've got 180 people who registered to watch this live. So this is great to see this much interest in HbbTV developments in Italy. As usual, you can post questions through the chat box, and our speakers are more than happy to respond to them in the last 15 minutes of this webinar. So don't hesitate, type in the questions you've got for our speakers, and they're happy to respond to them at the end of the webinar. And before we go over to Eugenio, I've got to read out the disclaimer first, because as you know, the presentations represent the views of the presenters and not the companies the presenters represent. Well, it's a difficult one, and so not necessarily of the HbbTV Association. Okay, let's get started. Over to radio for the first time, and it's Eugenio who's waiting to hold his presentation. As I was saying, a great use case of how radio can expand its business, and that's over to you now, Eugenio.
Thank you, Jörn. Hello, everybody. Let me start to share the presentation. So, can you see it?
You need to be in presenter mode first.
Please send me messages that I can get it. Okay, now easy. Okay, get it. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We can see your screen. And
can you see the screen?
There's the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So today I will not focus 100% on the HbbTV. Annamaria will support me because Kineton is the company that developed for us the application, so she will go deeply into this topic. What I would like to do, I would like to try to explain why we are here, why a radio is able to have services on HbbTV, and why we think that is a successfully service that we can use now and will open to us a lot of opportunity into the future. First of all, I like to think about this example because many times when happens that the company failed the story, so they close, most of the time we think about an example, a technology that killed broadcaster. The point is that in our personal point of view, the strategy that we use, we think that technology is always a support in terms of innovation. And so it's the reason why we think that it's not the strongest species that survives, not the most intelligent, but the most receptive to the change. What I mean with these kind of things, that the only way to innovate is always to try to see what's happening around us and try to find a solution to follow the community, to follow the behavior of the people. So our strategy and my rules in terms of the company is to follow the innovation. And so I will try to explain to you how we changed the radio, not now, but from more than 20 years. And we pass through the concept that the most important point is the content, and the way that the people consume the content have to follow the behavior of the people. So more or less 20 years ago, when the mobile phones was beginning to become a common devices in the hands of the people, we stop and we think about radio, and we say, why radio have to stay only audio? When, for example, if we think about what's happening to the market, there was a lot of paper with the face of the disc jockey in front of the cover. And so we start to see the radio from a different point of view, and we decide to create a new kind of radio where it was available to get it wherever, not only onto the radio, but also on TV. So what was the main focus on this kind of strategy? The first point was related to the usage of the content that is audio and video respect on something that is only audio. So the idea, when you create something that is multimedia and is one of the parts of our strategy, you can have something that is could be perfect fitted in every kind of devices, like the television, for example. So we designed something that was also a layer over the normal listening on the radio, where the people could extend the interaction with the radio. I will try to show to you what is the result of our job. Let me switch on video mode. Sorry.
Perché comunque la tua carica è a vita.
RTL 1025, la prima, l'unica radiovisione. 24 ore su 24, sempre in diretta. RTL 1025, giornale orario.
Buona serata, ben ritrovati da Andrea Salvati. Come abbiamo sentito in chiusura di Password, storica sentenza. E allora, che grande serata, che energia. Ciao ragazzi.
L'avete sempre malinterpretato voi.
Brava.
Grazie Davide, ci sentiamo domani come detto con l'ultima puntata dell'Indignato Speciale. Buon lavoro.
Grazie a voi e buona radiovisione a tutti.
Allora, io ho una domanda da farvi.
Vai.
Allora, ognuno di voi...
Torniamo tra poco con la Power Hits?
Sì, faccio anche un chilo di cioccolato se volete.
Il potere di emozionarsi. Il potere della nostra radiovisione. Il potere di essere umani. RTL 1025. Very normal people.
Okay, I go back to the presentation, sorry. So, as you see, I try to explain to you in a short video what is exactly the radiovisione. Think about the concept that we are not a television, but we are a radio, and we decide to use the video layer as overlay on what we play onto the audio. So when a song is played on the radio, in simulcast on TV, it shows the video of the music, When you have some jingle, you have the words that are shown in graphical way as a jingle on TV. When you have the speaker, you have the speaker on the studio, and when you have some guest or some content that come from the user, so like the interaction with the user is not only audio interaction, but it's also video interaction, and we use some of the tools that today are very familiar, like Zoom and so on, so the people can connect it. So if the user is using the radio on the car, can continue to listen to the content without any problem. But if you have a device with a screen in front of them, can optimize, can have an experience that is better or extended on the experience that was only on audio. And so the way this kind of content in simulcast video and audio is perfect to fit in every kind of devices that have radio or smartphone or television. And we are sure, so our strategy is let user decide, because if the content is available, is an opportunity that they can try to connect to us and consume our content. We are here, we are talking about HbbTV, so the point is that we are also even on TV, and we are on DVB-T on the channel 36, and we are also in satellite. That places are for us opportunity. So we decide not to stop to have the radiovisione on TV, but follow the smart TV technology and connect the user in a different way. I try to explain that from the beginning, we continue in an innovative, infinite way to create something new, to see what's happened out of our building. So see the people, track the people, what they like, what they do. And after the launch of radiovisione, we try to understand what was the possible enhancement of our strategy. And so we decide to launch a different kind of radiovisione, not only RTL, but we create Radio Freccia, Radio Zeta, and some other content that was more vertical in terms of target of the user. And so one needed was to have more than one channel, but DVB, as you know, DVB is quite expensive, so we cannot have all the channel on DVB. The usage of the content was changing, so the radio becomes a media that was also not only live, but available on demand, like the experience that typically all the users have every day. It was important to have an aggregation of the content to show them some category. And then we would like to enhance the interaction between our audience and the media. And the goal was to create RTL 102.5 Play, is our application that is available in every devices, but is accessible directly from the television. So, and the easiest way is you are on the channel 36, you get the label, and you can click on the button, and you can have a total experience around our content. So we solved the problem that we can extend our radiovisione offer not only in DVB-T, but with the streaming that come from our CDN to directly to the television. And we add an experience to the user that is the consumption of our content that are also available on demand, and plus some services that are exclusive and original, play and available only on the on-demand platform. So the total figure of the advantages of the technology is that if in a platform you can add the broadcast, that is the king in terms of distribution, plus the broadband, that means that you can have some services that are plus, you can build a different experience, a more exciting experience for the user, where you can also have one important point. You can track also the consumption of the broadcast. That is a very useful information to create the best experience for the user. In conclusion, so as I told you, we are not a television, and I try to explain to you why we are here to talk about HbbTV, also if we are not a television. So the idea is that we are only a company that try to extend our offer out of the normal usage, so on radiovisione. And thanks to the HbbTV, we have extended our bouquet of channel into the radiovisione, so with the visual part, so we can cover different target and tasty only by clicking a button on the TV. We can guarantee a modern interactive experience to the user, thanks to the on-demand exclusive content that could be available only for the registered user. And we are building a participative experience, and we can understand the user behavior that are very important for the future of our company, where we can optimize day by day our offer to the user. And obviously, the services also in HbbTV means that we can have new advertising opportunity, but we will see with Marco that will explain this kind of opportunity.
Oh, thank you very much for these insights, and I'm sure lots of media companies, especially radio broadcasters, will be very interested in hearing and maybe developing some of the examples that you have set here for their business, how to expand the business, how to grow the business. I think these are great opportunities. And of course, one of the things I'd like to remind you before we go over to the next speaker is the opportunity to submit your questions. Just as a little reminder, please post them through the chat box, and especially if you're radio broadcasters, I'm sure Eugenio will be more than happy to respond and give you feedback. Now let's take a look at the role of Kineton, who is a great market player in the HbbTV industry in Italy, and their involvement in the market. So let's go over to Annamaria. Welcome.
Thank you. So I am sharing the presentation. Can you confirm me that
yes, it's there and in presentation mode, so we're ready to go.
Thank you. So Kineton was founded in 2017, and from the start, its mantra has been HbbTV. In Italy, it had not yet launched yet, because a group of the agents in the industry didn't believe in this new kind of the interactive, also because there were disappointments by the failure of the MHP. But Kineton decided to go against the current and join in HbbTV European Association and started to produce application. In order to communicate to the potential of this standard, we created a demo application to show them our Italian broadcaster, our customers. So back to this years, the HbbTV television, HbbTV compliant were not widespread, and so we were forced to travel and bring with us the television and DECTEC modulator in order to show the application. But we finally convinced RTL, and together we launched the first application in Italy, the first HbbTV application in Italy. In Italy, the application was very simple, because there was just one video, one streaming regarding a backstage event, but the success was very incredible. In fact, thanks to RTL, we started to evolve the functionality and to start to explain our customer how this standard could meet their needs, having an interactive application directly on broadcast channel, and there is not need to extra banda to signal the application on the channel. So now we have a different application, because we worked on the improve on the functionalities, and now the application is completely different. We have a VOD, we have a live streaming, and now we are working to improve this platform. I also can mention the path we took with Sport Italia. Also with Sport Italia, we started with a simple application. They had just four items for streaming, in order to reproduce the Michele Criscitiello's channel, and now we have a really OTT platform. We introduced a video on demand live streaming VOD. We have inserted also the content aggregation. That means there are also the other streaming by the other broadcaster in the same application. We integrated the advertising in collaboration with Broadbandy. We also developed the content management system in order to manage and modify the content on the application. The capability that we have to customize the application based on the needs our customer is linked to our platform camp, using our platform, which I will explain better later. We can understand, we can know the behavior of the user which are on the channel, using the application, and we can perform action case by case based on the collected information. And we can perform individual action in order to satisfy a singular needs. When the broadcasters realize the potential of this standard, asked us to implement the application for them, also to work together in order to evolve the functionality. I can mention Sky and Discovery for international broadcaster, but this interested reached also the national and the local broadcaster, because it's in for them, amount for them, because this standard, our solution can give them the possibility to showcase themselves, and as on their channel, an HbbT application, interactive application with a low cost solution, because every broadcaster, also regional broadcaster, can have the application on the channel. The type of the application with Kineton can be developed are varied, reaching for the silent application, where the main goal is to collect the information by the application, to a complex application with can have video streaming, VOD, a survey. We can integrate the feeds, the social, and so on. But independently of the type of the application that can be developed, we want to give our customer added value in order to resolve, in order to guide them to best solution, and became for them the all-round technology partner. Here in Italy, we are famous for the Italian tailor. Well, we want to we wanted to tailor for them the best tailor-made suite. During this year, we have solved a lot of problems. One of them is to increase the audience on a broadcast channel having the high CN, not easily to reach with the remote control. And with the HbbT application, we have solved this problem just with using a remote control. But I think that a particularly important functionality introducing on the HbbTV application is the advertising. We have started with L banner, interactive L banner. That means using a remote control, it is possible to show a video, image, mini site, and so on. Then we are working for inserted the pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll in video on demand live streaming. And then we are working to showing the advertising when the user tune on the channel or stay in watching on the broadcast channel. But believe me, the success of this surprised even us, but we understand that it is work. Also because the advertising give the opportunity to broadcaster to receive the revenue and reinvest them in, for example, HbbTV application. That means I think that we are creating a new business model where the HbbTV improvement are powered by the profit of the advertising. Kineton for the HbbTV has created two platforms, two products, CAMP and CARP. CAMP is a Kineton audience measurement platform. The main is to collect information from the application. It is an agnostic platform. That means the application is not necessary to HbbTV application, but it is necessary to integrate our library. The data collected is real data. That means there are no statistical calculation on the information, but is a punctual real data because they are created the custom event to collect the information. CARP instead, Kineton announcement real-time platform, is to allows the user to manage the advertising, self-promotion or advertising in according with the agency. CARP is based on two elements. The dashboard and the client. The dashboard we use it to set, define, organize the announcement, and the client show the creative when they are available. We can say that using two products, we have created a complete ecosystem, because CARP give the information regarding the audience in where we can perform the action to define better the application, and the CARP can give the possibility to receive a revenue and reinvest them, for example, in HbbTV application. That means we have created an ecosystem, a complete ecosystem. But now our innovation group are working on the other project, for example, our certification platform, or we are working on the first POC regarding on to TV commerce using an HbbTV application in collaboration with a major partner of e-commerce. And last but not least, we are working on POC regarding gamification and virtual reality. So stay tuned, because the HbbTV still has a lot of things to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these insights from Kineton, and I'm sure you have a lot more to say in the Q&A if we can target specific areas of your business a bit more directly. So Annamaria is very happy to respond and give you feedback in the last 15 minutes of this session. We have the next speaker lined up already. Welcome, Marco from Broadbandy. First of all, I think not many people know what Broadbandy is, so maybe you can give us a first introduction in your company first, and then a bit more on, I think, monetization is the big issue of your presentation.
So, hello everyone. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so Broadbandy is okay. Is it fine? Okay. So Broadbandy was founded in 2021. Broadbandy is a very young company, and the foundation of the company was based on our previously experience of me and of my colleagues. Broadbandy was founded to add advertising to digital television. So the goal was to add advertising formats to smart TV, connected with to the internet, with the HbbTV available, and to try to bring all the digital capabilities that we have on advertising to the television. Okay, it doesn't work. Wait a moment, please. Okay, so Broadbandy has developed an aggregation of a few channels. We have now more than 15 channels at the moment. All the channel is, we have both a linear channel, which is using HbbTV, and also we have connected TV channel. The opportunity is to add some specific advertising format, but the biggest opportunity is the way of buying of the advertising. So all the other companies that is doing advertisings on HbbTV, as far as we know, does not allow the way of programmatic buying. So programmatic buying is the way that an advertiser can automatic buy with a demand-side platform, which is a platform that automatically can give them the opportunity to buy some specific formats through the digital websites. And our goal was to bring this opportunity also on connected TV on the linear channel with HbbTV. This opportunity can give us a really very wide and huge scalability of in terms of advertising revenue, because a lot of clients would like to approach the buying of advertisings in the digital way exactly with the programmatic. So all the budgets is using it's managed with this way of buying. So we are able to give them the opportunity to buy this our advertising formats in programmatic with big screen, frequency cap, CPM based advertisings, with breadth, safety, and all the capabilities that can also be founded in the digital way of buying. We do allow our advertisings to make targeting opportunities. So we have geo-targeting, we have contextual targeting, we have ESP, manufacturing targeting. We have a couple of targeting which is very useful, and they would like to try and to use every time that they plan a campaign, because they would like to get exactly the reach that they want intended to target. So for example, geolocation and contextual targeting is very useful, because this makes them the opportunity to address exactly a message to a specific portion of the audience. So this is one of the most important things that we allow. The other stuff is that we are working every time we develop new advertising formats, and our advertising formats is very rich in terms of impact. You can say this is, for example, our advertising format. So the simple one, which is the L-shaped banner. So it's a banner that is displayed while the user is watching a specific content, based on the same targeting that I previously presented to you. Then we have, for example, other interactions. So the user can interact with the advertising, and for example, they can they press OK with a command, and they can see, for example, a full screen image with a new message, an improved message, where we can add also, for example, a QR code or whatever, any action that the advertiser would like to add to the creative. Then we have, for example, the interactive website. So we can create for the advertising a sort of interactive website with different sections that we can present, and where the user can navigate, and we go through each sections like they want, and to discover more information about the product that they are looking. And then we have, of course, a part of the video. So for example, the L-shaped banner, click to video. So we can add, for example, a video after the click to improve, for example, the awareness of the brand. Then we have some specific format, which is the videos format. It's a format that is presented, for example, in the HbbTV, where the publisher, the broadcaster can have more content available on demand through HbbTV application. And then we, of course, monetize also those contents. And then we have, for example, the video tune-in, which is exactly the video that Annamaria mentioned before, because we have a really good partnership with Kineton, where we are able both together to develop this kind of format and improve all the opportunity that HbbTV gives us to monetize and create new formats and new advertising space for the broadcaster. So this is a very good opportunity. This format is a format where the users tunes on a channel, and before looking to the broadcast, a video pre-roll is presented to the user, and after that the broadcast again is connected, and then the user can still continue to view the content. So it's very interesting format. So this is the main. So this is Broadbandy. Of course, one of the things, as I mentioned, it is the way of buying of this stuff, which is exactly the same way that a normal advertiser is using to buying a digital format on the website. So all the capabilities of programmatic ways of buying is at the core, at the base of our company. We have a few third-party partners that allow us to make the sell in programmatic. All these partners have been integrated into the HbbTV application through our code and through the collaboration with Kineton. So this is our company.
Great, okay. Many thanks for these insights. Now we know all about Broadbandy. We've got the great expert here and also the great expert for all your questions. A couple of them have already come in, so I think we have room for some more. Thomas, if you can turn me into presenter, I can show you the screen with the questions we have got so far, and of course all the other speakers can switch their webcams back on for the Q&A part. So we've got a few questions, as you can see here. Let's get started with you, Eugenio. Someone wants to know, how many users do you attract on these TV platforms? You've mentioned DTT, for example. So it's radio expand TV environments, and have you done some measurements of how many people are actually making use of this radio feature on TV?
Well, we get a consistent number of users that use the radio on TV. We see that is, let me say, complementary in terms of style life of the people. So I mean, think about the people that wake up in the morning, that they are into the house. And so in Italy, for example, it's not familiar to have radio devices into the house, less than for sure than the people from the north of Europe, UK, and Denmark, where we know that they have a radio box into the house. So the opportunity to have a television is to have the device of the radio also into the house. And we see that if during the morning is using on the drive time on the car, we see on the afternoon or on the evening that some of our audience, and could, let me say, I could say a number that is more or less the 20% of the total user, but is not a punctual number. They collect the content of the radio on TV. But think also about another point that yes, it's not so focused on HbbTV because it's not a personal experience that you can have at home, but in the public place that are fitness center, in the pub and so on, have this kind of content is perfect because you can have on TV the video, and you can have the audio of the content that is not like a movie or a normal television, because the usage of the radiovisione is totally different. You can stay 1 minute and you can stay 1 hour, and you have a complete experience of the content that you are using.
Okay, and then as an add-on or follow-up is that, can you say that these users you're attracting on the TV platforms, are these former listeners who are now saying, like, yeah, I can now see the presenter, the radio show host, see how they're looking and see the videos? And existing users that are kind of transferring to TV, or are you actually attracting new users that haven't been in contact with your radio station because you are now exploring or tapping into a new part of the market and you're generating new listeners?
Some of them are new because if you are in a device that is more than the other device where it was, means new opportunity. But some of them are users that can consume your content more than the past. So it means that if you are only on radio devices, that means device on the car, for example, or and in the house you don't have this kind of devices. When you go home and you find the content in that place, and you are familiar with the content, is more easy that you stop on the channel. We also have the channel 36 that is a premium LCN into the ecospace of the television. So when you switch through the channel, you can find us and you can decide to stay there for the music.
So yeah, it's of course increasing your visibility, and so that way you are able to generate new users and attract new people to your radio and to your brand, of course.
If I can also add a point that is more focused on HbbTV, we know that today we are at the beginning of the building of the new experience, but we are trying to say to the user, click on the red button because you can open a new offer, a new experience. And we are sure that time by time, the user will be more familiar with the experience of using the remote control to be more interactive with us or to change the content on our offer.
Yes, and increasing, of course, the interaction is, of course, a way to increase the affiliation with your station and with your brand, and that way, to make sure that that there's retention growing. We've got two questions for Annamaria from Kineton. So Annamaria, if you can switch on your webcam again, so we can see you. Right, there you are. The two questions are, in which markets are you active? Because we've been focusing a lot on Italy, of course, but this is of course not where your business ends. And what future developments do you see in HbbTV?
Yes, as Kineton, we develop and validate different kind of the application can be deployed on several clients. For example, we can develop the application for media content, for example, for set-top box, for connected television, for mobile, Android, iOS, and so on. And also regarding the market IT, in order always to produce and the application. And now regarding the future developments, we are already work on AD substitution, also in collaboration with Broadbandy. We are working on to try to take augmenting content on gamification or virtualization directly on using HbbTV application, HbbTV standard.
Okay. These are, of course, interesting points, by the way, but gamification, gaming, HbbTV and gaming is something we'll be focusing on in another edition of the webinar series in the autumn. So definitely you've hit a good spot here. Virtual things, of course, maybe even going towards things like the metaverse is, of course, something very interesting to explore with HbbTV and DVB-I. Regarding the markets question, you were just saying the markets you're active in. I think the question also referred to the markets country-wise. So this is not just Italy. Are you, for example, active in Germany or England or Spain?
Yes, also yes, also for Sky UK, we are in collaboration with Sky UK, and yes, we are not only just in Italy, only in Italy, but also abroad of the market, UK, London, yes, Germany, Spain, yes.
So maybe you've got some new customers who are knocking on your door after this webinar, coming from outside. Maybe
yes, but the particular thing that we wanted to do add the value, that means we wanted to resolve a problem and begin a technology partner with our customer, independent of the countries.
Yes, of course. I mean, the countries are different, but the solutions and the problem solutions are the same. And of course, let's not focus on
Yes.
problems, but maybe, let's say, the opportunities to drive and develop and ultimately grow your business is, of course, what we're talking about. And let's go over to Marco. So if you switch on your webcam, we have a question regarding the challenges in addressable TV. We do know about them because we've had a couple of webinars on addressable TV, targeted advertising. One of the issues that was always raised was, of course, privacy, data protection, GDPR compliance. I don't know if that goes in this direction from the viewer regarding the challenges, but maybe you can just generally say something about the challenges in addressable TV, because if it was so easy to set this up, it wouldn't need a company like Broadbandy.
But nothing is too easy, but it's important to understand which opportunities can give you the technology. So HbbTV for us is, I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but it's really equal to a browser, and it's a standard browser. And
Sure.
this is what's important to find a way to create an advertising networks and advertising exactly in the way a common digital browser, let me say computer browsers, is working. And these capabilities is very important for us. So the challenge now is based on the audience, is to try to really understand who is the current watchers. So in terms of audience data. So which is the behavior of the users that is watching a specific program, how to target them in terms of, for example, demographics way. So this is the challenge that we have in addressable TV in terms of advertising. So audience-based targeting, it's the challenge in my opinion now. So we have to target people not only based on, let me say, the geolocation or, for example, contextual based on the program that they're watching, but we have to try to find a way to cluster the people in audiences and try to target them in based on demographic behavior and interest and so on. So this is the challenge that we have now.
Okay. Another question has come in for you, but let's read out the first one that was in earlier. Are the ad formats available on DSPs? Which DSP? So what is DSP, by the way?
Is it the demand-side platform?
Okay.
The demand-side platform are a platform that allow advertisers to buy inventory, to buy advertising formats in the programmatic way. Programmatic is a sort of way of buying which is based on a protocol which is named RTB, so real-time bidding, and allow to make an auction to buy that specific impression and format at that time if the buyer is interested. You have to say, just to give you a couple of figures of DSP, that big brands, and let's say I say one of the top 500, maybe a couple of top 500 brands, put all their budget of digital on a DSP, and the way of they spend the money to advertise on digital is through a programmatic way. So this was our goal, our challenge, to try to leverage the potential of a TV exactly as a digital does. So DSP, of course, our format is available on DSP. We work with DV360 by Google, and we work with the Trade Desk, which is an independent DSP from the US.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay, I think this sums it up nicely. So there's just the new question now, and I think it's quite interesting as well. In pre-roll ad, what types of HbbTV application do you use? If it's broadcast related, I think it's difficult to prevent to show broadcast content before the HbbTV app is launched.
That's correct. Pre-roll ad. So what we are working. So we have a partnership with Kineton. And our module is added into their core application, but of course also with other vendor we can be integrated with our advertising format. Is it correct in technical way of it's explained? It takes 2 to 3 seconds while a HbbTV application is loaded into the channel, and then we are able to deliver the video advertising. But it depends, because, for example, now a lot of channel in Italy does not still using, for example, a broadcast way of delivering content, but they are streaming the content. And when they are streaming the content on an LCN, in fact, the way of working, for example, of the video tune-in is exactly the same way as a content on demand is working. So before loading the streaming, so they take a message while they have to connect the television to internet and having HbbTV on in the television. We load the video pre-roll, and then the streaming comes through the LCN, and they can see the video. So it's true, it's correct what you say, but in Italy, some of the broadcaster is changing the way they reproduce the video. So this is very important. This is what we are looking. So, and for us, the streaming is really similar to a digital environment. So also the advertising formats working in the similar way. I hope to, okay.
Yeah, I think we've hit an interesting point. By the way, Annamaria, because Kineton was mentioned a few times here, if you'd like to respond to any of these questions directed at Marco, you can, of course, feel free to do so, Annamaria, if you like. In the meantime, there was a last question for Marco towards the future. Look into the future. Where's the journey going in targeted advertising from your point of view? What are the growth factors maybe, and new developments coming in?
Yes, it's a very important brief. A brief of this development was told by Annamaria, which is the mid-roll, so which is the replacement of a portion of content with advertisings. A portion of content means that it's not in general only the linear advertising to be replaced. For us, it could be very could be also different content. So it may be, for example, a content that is used by the broadcaster to fulfill a specific time frames where they don't have a content specific, or for example, creating new time frames of video spot, and having all this information through the guideline, through the program guides. For us, it's very quick to understand where we can insert, for example, some spots or a couple of, and this is for probably is the next product we are looking to develop in the future.
So the journey is moving on.
The journey is moving on, and also, of course, the way of the streaming way, it's moving on. So this is a very important stuff that maybe Annamaria can have a lot of experience of this.
Yes,
if I can. Oh, sorry. No, go on, Annamaria.
No,
please, we still have 5 minutes.
The application is always in AutoStar on the channel. That means we can read the palimpsests, we can read the program schedule and define when show the L banner or the advertising. The pre-roll, mid-roll is on the video on demand or linear channel, but we can also integrate the application of broadcast channel. That means we have information regarding the broadcast channel in order to show the advertising.
If I can, you are really focused on advertising. It's good because it's money, and we survive with the money that arrives from this part. But the usage of HbbTV can also use it for the journey of the user in terms of editorial stuff. I mean that understand how they move into the channel. Also, not only the broadband side, but also the broadcast. That could be in a way tracked is very important. So the hybrid concept of the media in terms of television, but the future of the radio also in other places like the connected radio will have this kind of functionality, broadcast and broadband at the same time, could be very useful. We can have fresh data. We can understand how the user move into our content in real time, and we can make some choice to give them a better experience.
Definitely. And to sum this up, at the end of the day, it's all about data. this is the great, the great material we can use to develop the business. Thank you very much, Eugenio, Annamaria, and Marco, to be our speakers today. We've learned a lot, and thanks for watching this episode of the webinar series. As usual, just a brief note to let you know that the YouTube recording and the PDF presentations will be available shortly, and you'll receive an email tomorrow with all the links to access these materials. And of course, the big event coming up in autumn on November the 9th and 10th, you're invited to join us in Prague in the Czech Republic for the 10th edition of the HbbTV Symposium and Awards. And a lot of these things that we've touched today will be discussed in a lot more detail in this 2-day event in Prague. And of course, the webinar series will continue, and we are very happy to receive your suggestions for topics. I've already said what the next topic or one of the next topics might be. That's HbbTV and gaming, a very interesting topic. And because it shows that HbbTV is not just TV related or radio related, as we've learned today, it's also a standalone application. And you can, of course, email the association under webinar@hbbtv.org to submit your ideas. And if you'd like to receive content updates on what's going on in the HbbTV world, please sign up for the Twitter feed or on LinkedIn. You have got the links on the screen now. Thanks everybody again for watching, and as usual in August we've got the summer break, and we'll continue in September. You'll receive an invitation for the September edition of the webinar series in due time. Thanks for watching, take care, have a great holiday, and see you soon. Bye bye everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.